So I have the pleasure of welcoming Jackie Mattia, who is Strategy VP at Movable Inc. And then she's going to be joined by Patrick Kirsch, who is Senior Product Marketing Manager at Fresh, Amazon Fresh, and Rose Gia, who is Head of Customer Lifecycle at Amazon Prime. So please, Prime Video, excuse me. So I'll let them intro themselves further.
Thank you so much for joining our session, First Year to Continuing Success. We're joined by two fantastic marketers, Patrick Kirsch of Amazon Fresh, is a first-year Movable Ink client, and then Rose Gia of Prime Video, a multi-year Movable Ink client. Rose, Patrick, can you share a little bit about your backgrounds and your roles at Amazon? Rose, we'll start with you.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good to see everyone. I'm Rose Gia. I lead our customer lifecycle team at Amazon's Prime Video. I'm also the author of Growth Marketing Strategy, also available on Amazon. But I'm super excited to be here today and talk amongst my team and colleagues to talk about how we've been leveraging Movable Ink.
Hi everyone, Patrick. I am the Senior Product Marketing Manager at Amazon Fresh. I manage all outbound communication, so email and push. And for those of you who don't know, Amazon Fresh is one of our grocery offerings in both the digital and physical space.
Amazing. Well, let's dive into it. Patrick, we'll kick off with you. Tell us a little bit about the marketing program at Amazon Fresh.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it's one of our grocery offerings, so really trying to drive both adoption of grocery at Amazon and then also retention. So increasing our market share and then really making Amazon a go-to destination for your grocery and perishable needs. And we're really doing this through both email and push communication, through food-centric holidays, which are great drivers of our business, educational onboarding series, deals and markdown messaging, which Amazon is known for. And then really our driver of one of our biggest engagement is our weekly subscription or circular communication.
Well, that's a great segue. So how has Fresh evolved its email program in your first year working with Movable Ink?
Yeah, when I first came on board to Amazon Fresh, all of our email was static content, so nothing was personalized. And so as there's a lot of Amazon clients here that have used Movable Ink and also just internally, we really knew the value of personalization. And so when I came on board, I really wanted to dive in quickly and get personalization going to really grow the channel. Unfortunately, our tech teams were busy doing foundational things, so really didn't have a lot of internal bandwidth, and so really looked to Movable Ink to help really get personalization going quickly. And so we really kind of together created a roadmap of the traditional crawl, walk, run mentality and put together a strategy for diving in. And so we had our first experiment out the door in 6 weeks, which was super exciting. So that's our Halloween campaign there, where we were leveraging existing data that we already had, which was customer name. And as Andy Cohen mentioned a little earlier, like a little bit of a wink with sinking your fangs in there. But it really let us start to be a little bit more customer-centric and insert our brand voice. And then seeing the 30 basis point improvement in CTR there, getting our feet wet in the crawl phase, got really excited about what we could do next in building on that. So grocery is an inherent regional business, so that's very unique for Amazon. We have regional pricing, we have regional inventory, and so prior to Movable Ink, we were sending customers to a dedicated page where they had to self-select their location. And so we really leveraged what we already knew, where our customers were, and then Movable Ink, to drive them to dedicated landing pages for store-specific inventory and deals. So super excited about this. We saw a 66 basis point improvement. So like we're getting really off of our training reels and getting ready for the next phase of personalization.
Those are some amazing results for 6 weeks in.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't stop there. Talk to us a little bit about these personalized offers.
Yeah, so like I was mentioning, our weekly circular communication is one of the biggest drivers of conversion for us. And so we really started to hone in on like, how can we, I think Adobe was talking about like modular aspects of an email. So we started to tackle each section of this email to really influence personalization. So from our crawl phase, we took our location-based personalization and moved that into an evergreen campaign at the top of our email, seeing the great success for that. And then moving to coupons, which was one of the main drivers of acquisition for us as we're a new brand. And prior to Movable Ink, we were doing like a static 10 off 50 coupon for all of our customers. And so from like a good Amazonian frugality standpoint and steward of our budget, like that really wasn't doing the best work for us, as we have like customers that are already power users of our business and that we shouldn't just be handing out free money to. So Movable Ink really helped us like take that next step and really start to use behavioral data that we had internally to segment our customers into like acquisition, retention, high retention, engagement, high engagement, to offer a variable coupon construct based on behavioral data. So, and then we got super excited by 88 basis point improvement in CTR here. So we really started to get excited about the potential of what this really could do for us.
I love that you're seeing that dual side benefit. You're meeting the customer with a more tailored offer. You're also getting those savings on the Amazon side. So.
Yeah.
Great. Talk to us a little about your category personalization.
Yeah, so as we continue to work our way through this campaign, like one of the biggest like heartburns of this that I like always had when I first came on board was seeing meats and seafood in every single one of our campaigns, and knowing that there are like vegans out there that are like people that would never engage in this content. And so was really trying to like find a way to make this more relevant. And so we do have a static 3, which you see today, that if we don't have any behavioral data on the customer, but as you engage with our brand, we will start to aggregate what your top 3 categories are, and through Movable Ink, we'll render the top 3 to continue to drive engagement and conversion. So super excited this one. This one's actually in experimentation now, so excited to see the results, hopefully surpassing that 88 basis point improvement here as well.
But also 100% automated, which
Yes.
is the beauty of it.
Yes.
So for each of these, the location-specific imagery, the category recommendations, your behavioral banners, without Movable Ink, what would the process have looked like to create these? Can you talk a little bit about the efficiency gains that you got from this?
Yeah, I think a lot of people like to think like we have like all these resources and people at Amazon, but like it's a very small, lean team. And so, we started at static content, and being able to add location-based personalization would have taken us into hundreds of variations. You start to layer on coupon targeting on top of that, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of variations. And then when you layer in 3 different aisles on top of that, we're talking about millions of variations at the scale that we're dealing with. And so really we would not have been able to do that without Movable Ink. And so tons of reductions in terms of effort, creative bandwidth, and just like setting us up for scale, which is really exciting.
Amazing. Well, I'm super excited about the rest of your roadmap. So tell us what's next. What are you looking forward to in your next iteration with Movable Ink?
Yeah, so as we continue our down the path of our weekly circular, product personalization is the next place that we want to go. And so like as we were getting our wins from some of our early testing with Movable Ink, we were parallel pathing and what Rose is really great at, those like finance asks and for like additional bandwidth to really start building out an API. And so we really see the value of product and real-time recommendations as that next stage of evolution for us. Like as we start to think about local inventory, like, we don't want to offer a deal that's not available in someone's location. And so when we talk about point of send versus point of open, we're really looking to Movable Ink to really get that like real-time triggering and really be customer focused and centric.
I love that you just took a head-to-toe approach on this communication, building out really early wins to sort of build the business case to move more towards real time. You did it on a modular basis so that you can then plug and play those into other communications. So you've driven a ton of change within just a year. What advice would you give a team that's just starting out in their first year using Movable Ink?
Yeah, I think like, when you'll see Rose's content, like don't be intimidated by some of the things that that you're seeing out there. I think like start small, but like think strategically. Like I had mentioned, we didn't use any technical bandwidth for this. It was like myself and a BIE and business analyst. So you can do a lot with the data that you have. So don't let tech be a blocker. And really lean into the partnerships, like both internally and with Movable Ink. They've been incredible partners in hand-holding and really helping leverage the out-of-the-box solutions that we can continue to have quick wins as we think about long-term implementation and growth.
I think you're going to have some marketers meet you in the back of the room to talk about how you got this done without tech resources.
Just don't ask for my resources.
We should have built in a Q&A at the end for it. Rose, really excited to have you here. So tell us a bit about the marketing program that you run at Prime Video.
Yeah. Well, before I say that, I just want to praise just how amazing Patrick has done with all of this stuff. I used to be at Amazon Fresh for 5 years before Prime Video. And this would have been a dream of mine at that point. So hearing all this and seeing this, I'm just like, this is amazing and such a great value for our customers.
Love that.
So anyways, just high praise. This is amazing. And great job, Movable Inc. Great job. But on to Prime Video. So I feel like for Prime Video, I talked about leading our customer lifecycle team. It really, at the end of the day, is what I consider growth marketing. So we're really trying to understand, like everybody else, who is our customer, what is the right content to serve them at the right time. And it's based on kind of what their preferences are, what they're looking for. So at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. And I think what's really exciting is we think about the different touch points our customers have. Email, push, those are one of the most important touch points. But at the same time, what they want from those touch points are different from what they want in social, what they want in display. So I think this is one of those moments where the more we can personalize, the better we're actually serving our customers' needs.
Yeah, I mean, I think because the online experience is so personalized in Prime Video, customers really expect that in outbound marketing channels. One of the things, you've launched some really advanced uses of APIs in your email program. So how are you using real-time data to drive viewership?
Yeah. When Patrick mentioned really leaning to your partners, like that's exactly what my team did. We leaned into Movable Inc. actually. So we can't talk about email and Prime Video without talking about our amazing NFL program, as you see behind us. And I think what was really great was Movable Inc. came to us and said, how wonderful would it be if we really made our outbound, especially our email, more contextually aware, but more dynamic? And we said, hell yeah, that'd be great. But there are challenges, like how are we gonna do this? We're not technically ready at that point. And Movable Inc., being such great partners, was like, let us help you figure this out. We've got some great APIs already with our different league partners. So I know you guys already have APIs with the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, you name it. And Movable Inc. did such a great job of having those conversations, facilitating a lot of this, figuring out the technical scope necessary. And at the end, what we did was we were able to bring real-time data into our emails, as you can see behind us, which meant something like leading up to the game, we are able to show team stats. And we can even have polls asking, our own viewers, who do you think is gonna win? And then during the game, that content will automatically update to reflect live scores. And then after the game has ended, we remove those live scores and instead we allow for replay. All of that was done automatically. None of us had to do any additional manual work, which for us is such a great relief. But more importantly, it was how amazing it was for the customer, our viewers, to be able to see amazing dynamic content every time they open that email.
I think what was so rich is you then scaled this strategy across multiple different sports leagues. So we have NHL up here if you want to talk about that.
I think that was one of the things that we realized is the more we're able to kind of leverage this real-time data and APIs as a blueprint, the more we're able to scale into different leagues. And as you guys all know, we have the NBA coming, so those are things that we're going to want to leverage. So when we did NHL, we basically took the blueprint of NFL, what we did there. We took the kind of what worked, what we want to tweak, and what we ended up doing is very similar, as you can see, but we did it in something like half the time, right? So it was something that's very scalable, and we did the same thing, like when you're in the game, you see live scores, after the game, you see replays, and then for NHL in particular, we actually leading up to the game, instead of live polling, we decided to do a countdown timer. So to really get you anticipating, like, when is this game coming, really excited. But I think the most important piece is this is so scalable, and it's something that we can actually scale across multiple marketing channels. So what we built in email can be transferable to push, and for marketers, that is just an amazing thing.
Yeah, you all use that countdown timer, sent it in push leading up to games. Saw some great engagement. So those are phenomenal sports-focused strategies, but you've also done a ton to increase engagement in your non-sports marketing.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, my team did a really good job. They're always thinking about every single customer out there and really thinking about how do we ensure that we are delivering the best experiences to our customers, even in something like email. And so one of the things we did for our movies and TV show fans is we leveraged things like scratch-offs and trailer GIFs. So the scratch-offs is really helpful with anticipation, gamification, and if you pair that with like a really nice offer, it helps the viewers feel very much like valued and getting something in return. And then, of course, something like an animated hero placement, it brings our viewers one step closer to the experience that they're going to have on platform. And so all of these kind of dynamic experiences are just another way for us to, one, make it entertaining for our viewers, right? We want them to feel excited and entertained in everywhere that we have touch points, and this is kind of one of them. And I'll say we kind of do a lot of this stuff, not just within our marketing channels and within the U.S. geography, but we also do this in international markets as well. So lots of great stuff that we're kind of carrying through everywhere.
Well, you can see some amazing results up here on the screen, and one of the things I want to talk about is it's notoriously hard to move beyond channel metrics like click rate in the video streaming world. Your team really excels at that, though. So what approach have you taken to understand the downstream impact, downstream KPIs of your email marketing program?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is probably not just an entertainment industry challenge. I feel like data privacy is a challenge everywhere now. And as you guys all know, Amazon, we are very data-driven. And we want to make data-driven decisions. So one of the things that my team did a really good job in working very closely with Movable Inc. is thinking about incrementality even within the channel and within a campaign. So we do a lot of A/B testing, we think about holdout groups, and we really try to understand at the very least these campaigns, how is it doing? What are the elements that are working? What is not working? How do we tweak it so we can always create a really great experience for our customers? Eventually, though, I would love for us to be able to do incrementality across marketing channels so we can really understand kind of the value and the power of different pieces at different times. But for now, just doing incrementality has been able to help us make some good decisions about where we want to optimize, where we want to lean away from or lean into.
Well, was there anything over this, you ran 25 tests, I think, in an 8-month period, which is awesome. Were there any insights that surprised you or caused you to pivot your strategy and your learnings?
Yeah. We learned a lot of great things, but there's actually one thing, and I'll praise Alice, who's sitting in the audience. I made her write a bunch of docs on this, but one of the stats that we learned is if you think about the US consumer, they get something like 100 emails and 100 push notifications every day from everybody here. That's a lot.
I even thought that seemed low. I thought it was even higher.
I mean, I find that very high.
Yeah.
That is a lot. And
Because we're afraid of opt-out rates.
I know, exactly. Exactly. And so, what we realized as a team was, at the end of the day, as marketers, we want to stand out from the fray, which makes us default into, well, let's send more, right? To get in front of others, let's send more. But the reality is, as the consumer, you're receiving so much that you're just going to become blind to it, which means that what's going to become more important is quality over quantity. And I think what's really special about what Movable Inc. can do for us is every single email, every single push can really drive and deliver on that quality bar without us having to over-invest in more frequency, which I think is not going to work in the long run.
Absolutely. Well, we feel the same way. So I'll round us out. What's next on your roadmap for using Movable Ink or just Prime Video's marketing program more broadly?
Yeah, if there's like one thing that you'll hear from me today a lot is real-time data. We want to use a lot more of that. We want to really unlock more personalization. But at the end of the day, I will always say we're always going to be customer obsessed. So it really depends on what is it that our viewers want to get from us in email and push, and we're going to try to make the best experience for them based on the intent and interest that they're looking for.
Amazing. Rose, Patrick, thank you so much again. Looking forward to seeing the evolution of your programs in the next year. Thank you all for joining. Have a great rest of your Think Summit.
Thank you.